I am so sorry. My goodness, Lord. Can you all imagine what just happened? The Lord is in control. We are not giving up. We aren't giving up. We're going to make some changes and we shall succeed. Greater is he that is in us than he that is of the world. So let's go back and continue our discussion before we were rudely interrupted. Welcome on board, my people. The topic of today is a continuation of erectile dysfunction. We started this session on Monday, Tuesday, and today is the third session of it. Stay tuned, like I said before, invite a friend. Please share this video on your group, on your page, with friends and well-wishers. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye. God bless you all. I can't do without you guys. You know, you all are awesome, awesome, awesome people. We thank God for that. The video was interrupted, and my apologies. May the Lord give us wisdom and breakthrough to do what we're supposed to do and have a good return in it. God bless you guys. Invite someone else as we continue doing what we love doing. Like I said before, we cannot give up. We cannot give up at all. You guys keep enjoying this music. Third part of erectile dysfunction, or should we say impotence. That is the third series. Stay tuned with your pen and paper. Yesterday, I was ending the topic of yesterday with some statistic research that are proven about erectile dysfunction. I was able to find out that 50% of men in the United States are estimated to have erectile dysfunction in their lifetime. That was where we were yesterday before the network went bad. And that notwithstanding, it was noted that 30 million men in the United States have or will experience erectile dysfunction, impotence in men. Mesteze, thank you for joining me now. Ovia, thank you. Obina, I appreciate you. James, Prince, Latifat, Chitru, my sister, and Jesse, Comfort, you guys are the best. Thank you guys for coming back. Sorry for the interruption. So I was giving statistics. 50% of men in the United States will experience erectile dysfunction. And not only that, the statistic went further to prove that it's estimated 30 million men in the United States and 140 million worldwide men will or have experienced erectile dysfunction. That was the end of the series of part 2 yesterday before we were interrupted. So the part 3 of today, we're going to round up. We've discussed about erectile dysfunction and others, the medication, the signs and symptoms, and other diseases attached to it, so that you will be comfortable to discuss it without feeling that you're alone. Those things have been statistically stashed and the results are being posted. So go back and watch the videos. We also gave some facts yesterday. Chimo, Mr. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. Paul, I appreciate you. Gloria, thanks for joining me. Please share. If you have a group you're in, can you share this video to your group? We need people to be aware of this erectile dysfunction. And the good news is that men, chill off and relax. You're not alone. Women have what we call sexual dysfunction. We're going to get there. So what I'm going to treat right now is going to be the age. At what age? Go and Vine, thank you so much for asking. God bless you, sir. At what age do men experience erectile dysfunction? That's what we want to treat right now. Love you too, go. God bless you, I appreciate that. We want to treat what age does men have erectile dysfunction. When we finish that, we're going to be treating the women sexual dysfunction, and we will treat the benefits of sex. So stay tuned, pay attention, ask questions, post your questions. Let's brainstorm. That's the reason of this broadcast. Yes, erectile dysfunction is a sad news to some men, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Like I said on Monday, Tuesday, before now, the only issue is we cover up and we don't speak up about it. Sometimes people are shy to discuss their, health issues, but when it comes to erectile dysfunction, impotency, we want us to discuss it. That is the awareness that we're making. So now we want to ask ourselves, at what age do men experience erectile dysfunction? Chidozie, thank you for joining. Bolada, I appreciate you. At what age do we experience this? Listen to this now. There was a research that is established in August 2003, and that issue of Annals of Internal Medical shows that erectile dysfunction among the older men and sexual function sharply decreases. Research proved that when a man hits the age of 50 years, so you see, it's not that bad. When you hit the age of 50, your erectile dysfunction goes down quickly. Doesn't mean that men of 60, 70 years cannot perform. That's not what we're saying, but we're talking about statistics right here. We're talking about proven facts. We're talking about reality of life. We're talking about real stuff that has been done statistically and results have been proven. So the result proven is that among the 140 million men globally that experience erectile dysfunction, it goes really faster when they hit the age of 50. Their sexual function drops so rapidly. Did not say you must wait until you're 50 before you find out if you have erectile dysfunction. Any man can have erectile dysfunction, but scientifically it has been proven that at the age of 50, it goes more faster. So those people are more prone or more exposed to erectile dysfunction. Okay, there's another research or survey that was done by health professionals, and statistically they said when the age of 53 to 90, their sexual functions were tested. When it was tested, and then they tested the sexual function of those that smoke and those that are alcoholic. Guess what? The smokers and alcohol individuals had more issues with sexual dysfunction than men of 53 years old to 90. Am I communicating? Please invite someone else and share this video. Yes, erectile dysfunction is more prone to men of 50 years and above. It comes very fast to those age. But guess what? If you're a smoker now watching me, if you smoke and you drink and you're watching me, let's say you're 40 years old, you will have more risk factor than a man of 90 to have erectile dysfunction, because smoking and drinking constricts the blood vessel functioning the way it's supposed to function, and it affects your sperm level. Those that drink a lot and heavy drinkers and smokers, it will affect you even earlier than 50 years old. Are we communicating? So it's all about lifestyle changing and taking care of your health. That's all about erectile dysfunction. And the majority of the younger men, 74% rated sexual function as good. If you're not a smoker, you don't drink heavily, you don't have blood pressure, you don't have diabetics, you don't have the high cholesterol and all that, then at the age of, let's say, 18, 20, 21, 30, 40, and all that, it was rated that their sexual functioning was 74% better than people that are older. Only 10% of men older than 80 rated sexual function the same time. So you see, only 10% among men that are 80 years old had a very good sexual ability. What are we talking about? So that means if you don't take good care of yourself very well, at the age of 80, your sexual functioning will be really bad, because we have only 10% of those people that are sexually active at that age. What are these now? And 12% of younger men reported big or moderate problem. 12% of younger men have erectile issues. And these are men of 18 years through 40. 12% of them, you see, erectile dysfunction can happen to anyone, but the majority of it is in the late 50s. But if you have a health issue, you're more likely to have issue of erectile and impotency earlier, before the age of 50 years old. Are we making sense? Mr. Eze? Mr. Eze said, can one have sexual dysfunction as a result of not having sex for decades and you're afraid? Okay, I'm going to come to that right now. I think I should answer that right away. You can't have a sexual dysfunction because you are not having sex for 10 years or 20 years. No, but guess what? It could affect your sexual functioning, because that's why we advise men who are not sexually active with any woman to masturbate. It's okay to masturbate because you need to release those hormones out. I will get to that when I start teaching the benefit of sex. Right now, we're getting there. Mr. Charles, thank you for joining me from Dallas. You're the best. Thank you so much. Ngozi, I appreciate you. Rose, thank you. Precious, thanks for coming back. Sammy, my brother, I appreciate you, so I humble myself before you. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. Please share this on your groups and your page. Sexual dysfunction cannot be a problem to a man who is healthy and you don't have sex for, let's say, 2-3 years and all that. It's not even good for the body. I will treat that, Mr. Eze, in a minute when we start talking about the benefit of sex. Then you will know the reason why we say it's okay medically for you to masturbate. You can do that to release the hormones inside, okay? And it will help your blood flow. When you have sex, your blood and heartbeat goes up to 5% level from the normal heartbeat. And it's good for your blood to have some work in it once in a while. So sex is healthy and you need to have sex. Doesn't mean that you should have it with anybody if you don't have a girlfriend, but you can masturbate. So I will get to that in a minute. That age of younger people, 12% of them have moderate problems concerning erectile dysfunction, which is impotence. Okay, take note now, my people. 2% reported first experiencing sexual dysfunction before the age of 40. This is scientifically proven. This research was done, and it is scientifically proven. It was done in August 2003 by the Internal Medicine Department. So it's a proven fact. They actually tested this with real humans. 2% reported first experiencing sexual impotency at the age of 40 or before the age of 40. 4% reported first experiencing it between the age of 40 and 49. We're talking about number of people, 140 men globally, million men globally that are affected with sexual dysfunction and impotency. So 2% of those men experience this impotency before the age of 40. When you say 2% of 140 million, it's a lot of men that are affected. 2% might sound so little, but it's huge for a lot of men that have impotency or dysfunction with their erectile, at the age of 40 or before 40. So we're talking about 26, 27, 30, 35, before 40. They already have problem. 4% reported it after the age of 40 to 49, 50. 26% reported that from 50 to 59. So most likely, like scientific proof have said, 50% of men in the United States will and have experienced sexual impotency. Look at the age of 60 to 69. It's showing us 40% out of the 140 million men will experience or have experienced sexual dysfunction, or what we call impotency. That is very high. Too high for you to hide it, too high for you to act like nothing is wrong, too high for you to take it easy and all that. We need to expose and get knowledge and get help. That's all it takes. It can be doable. We already listed the list of medications to take on Monday. We gave you guys signs and symptoms. Do not forget to make sure you check your blood pressure, you know your blood count and all that before you start any medication that has to do with erectile dysfunction. Why? Because they have contraindication to some of the blood pressure medications, and some of the heart problem that you have will be contraindicated to the medication that we use to teach erectile dysfunction. Make sure your doctor diagnoses you. Don't think because you're stressed out and you could not function this week, you diagnose yourself that you have impotence. Don't do that. Make sure there is someone, a medical doctor, that will diagnose you. Mr. Eze, thank you so much. I need contributions, guys. Ask questions. Mr. Eze said, can one have sexual dysfunction as a result of not having sex for decades? Sir, I will get to that in a minute. Don't be afraid. Like I said, we encourage you not to stay whole decade without having sexual intercourse. It's abnormal for any man or any woman. You understand? But if it's what you want to do, you have to learn how to masturbate. We want you to be able to release all those hormones inside to be safe. Erectile dysfunction, according to scientists, research affects as many as 20 million American men. 20 million American men. This is facts. It's for real. For real, for real. It is a very dangerous thing for us to keep silent about it. And it's not something to be shy about, guys. Be open to your wife. Do not go and marry and preach to the lady that the Lord said no sex before marriage. And you get a woman into the relationship, coming to the bed, you cannot satisfy her. That's not fair. It's being mean. So if you have an issue right now, wherever you are watching me globally, and you know you have impotency or you have a sexual erection problem, discuss it with your girlfriend. Discuss it with your doctor. Get help. Do what you have to do. We listed some food, natural food that you can eat to help you out. And there are some you cannot just eat because they are natural. You still have to find out if it's safe for you. We mentioned like fish, olive oil, vegetables, that kind of stuff. Garlic is one that I want you to be alert and oriented to, because garlic works more like a blood thinner. And if you have a blood pressure or you have any heart disease, you don't want to take garlic, because at Jessie's show, she said we can take garlic to help us with erectile dysfunction. But if you're taking blood pressure medication, don't say that I said, because you need to make sure you tell your doctor, and the doctor will modify your lifestyle by telling you what to eat, what you will eat that will be safe, so that we won't have contraindication. If you're taking blood pressure medication and you're eating a lot of garlic, you're contraindicating yourself. And then with that, you can't even take, a high dosage of erectile dysfunction medications. Most of them are contraindicated with blood pressure medications. Make sure you get an approval from your primary care physician. Now, any question from men? Mr. Eze, I think I have answered your question briefly, but I want you to pay good attention and be kind. We're going to discuss the benefits of sex. Then you will be having the openness of why you should not stay the case, without having sex or intercourse, unless you are secretly masturbating. Then that's okay, because you're releasing. When you do that, it's still safe. It's not an issue. You don't have to go into a woman to be able to have sex. You can help yourself right in the house. And that's one of the benefits we say couples. If you have a man that is impotent, cannot stand up to 2 seconds, you can also help him by touching him, and all that. That's more like masturbating. So it is safe and it will help, But most times we want you to check it out and get the proper medication and medical care that you will need, that will help you, and it will last for a little while. I hope that makes sense. So the news, I am so excited when it comes to teaching things that are very sensitive like this. Most people don't want to discuss sensitive matters, but a lot of people are dying silent concerning things like this. That's why we want to bring it live and make it very comfortable for our men and our ladies to be able to be open and discuss sensitive issues whenever it is concerning the marriage. These things can break relationship up. It can tear loved ones apart, and we don't want that to happen. Knowledge is power, like I always say, and power is being open to learn. Stay tuned as I play little music and expect you. Please invite someone else. Share in your groups. Share, share, share. That's all it takes. Thank you, Admin One, for posting the topic again. Stay tuned, my people. Let's enjoy this music.
It's been 750 since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a
Please invite someone else, my lovely people. I'm just taking a minute. Thank you guys for joining me. God bless each and every one of you. Enjoy this music for minutes.
Nothing compares to you. Still so long without you here, like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? Put my arm around every boy I see. I'm with you. I went to the doctor and guess what you told me? Guess what you told me?
Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate everyone.
What you do, but he's a fool, 'cause nothing compares to you.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, my people. Oh yes, oh yes. Like we do all the time, we take a little bit of break, listen to a relaxing music, and we'll come back and hit on the topic. We've had time to talk about erectile dysfunction and impotency on men. Monday, Tuesday, this Wednesday, we are talking about men. I know some of them are feeling very uncomfortable, but I'm telling you guys, knowledge is power, and power is opening up to learn. And I appreciate my guys, all the fans that I have globally, for enjoying this topic. Right now, lovely ladies and sisters, stay tuned, guys, stay tuned. You're not alone. Guess what? Wonderful news. Women also suffer sexual dysfunction. How about that? News flash. Yes. News flash. It's not only men that are impotent. It's not only men that went through or are going through or will go through erectile dysfunction or impotency in lifetime. We ladies who have sexual dysfunction, we don't call it impotency. There's no medical term like that. But there is a medical term that said female sexual dysfunction. More of the same thing with men, but in a different form. So stay tuned. Invite your wife, invite your sisters, your girlfriend, anyone that you can invite to listen. News flash. Women go through sexual dysfunction also, and we're going to treat it today because we're ending the issue of dysfunctional sexuality today, and we'll move on tomorrow. The news of tomorrow will shock you. Most of us are supposed to be doing what I'm going to talk tomorrow, but ignorantly we don't think about it. We're not even going that route. So that is wonderful thing that Jesse Studio will always bring on board. We want to make a difference. Women's sexual dysfunction. How many of the ladies watching me now are aware that we women will go through sexual dysfunction also more like the men? I can tell you, not everybody will think about that, but it is a reality. Women have the desire, will have the orgasm, and will have pain during sexual intercourse. Those are the things that we experience and are expected to experience whenever we have an intercourse. Women, we are expected to have pain. We are expected to have orgasm, and we are expected to have the desire to enjoy sex. Newsflash, if a woman does not feel all this, what is going on? Sexual dysfunction. If a woman is in bed making love with the loved one, and this guy is going in and out and coming, she's not feeling nothing, she's not saying nothing, no orgasm, no pain, no screaming, no any kind of reaction, this lady has a sexual dysfunction. Most ladies will experience this at one point in our life or the other. You believe me or you don't believe me, yes, some women have sexual dysfunction. The symptoms to look at, ladies, for you to check yourself out. Listen and listen very good. And gentlemen, I want you guys to listen. Miss Tessie, thank you for joining me. God bless you. Victoria Sipo, thank you. Princess Ozazua, thank you for joining. God bless you. Please share in your page, in your group, and let's talk. Women have sexual dysfunction. I will give you symptoms to watch out. Excuse me. Watch this out on your girlfriend, on your wife, or somebody else, you know. The symptoms are different depending on individuals. When a woman doesn't pay good attention or interest when it's about sex, low self-esteem concerning sexual desire, there is a dysfunction. It's not that she's doing it the first time, probably just like opposite of men, she's stressed out. It could affect her sexual desire as a lady. But it's not about stressing out. It's not about, oh, she doesn't want to have it. She is ready in the bed, but she doesn't know what to do. The desire is not there. She's just there like a stone. Something is not right, especially when it's repeating itself, especially when it's happening all the time. There is a problem. That's one symptom to watch out. There's something we call sexual arousal disorder. Sexual arousal disorder. Your sexual arousal disorder might be intact. What do I mean by being intact? Yeah, you might be okay when we talk about sex, boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, you're ready, you want to have sex, but you have it, you know, it's very difficult for you to arouse as a woman. I'm talking about the clitoris right now. To feel it that this is it. The hormones to release the arousal is not there, but you feel that you have the desire, you want to have sex, you want to enjoy yourself with your boyfriend or your husband, but the arousal is not coming. What am I meaning about arousal? Your private part have to respond to what is in the brain. You called for the show. The lady calls for that, for the husband or boyfriend to make her happy. But mentally, she's ready. Physically arousal, she's not coming up. She's dry. You're touching her. She wants to be wet. She's not going to be wet. She's not arousing. That's a disorder for a woman. It's not a healthy thing. It is a dysfunction. Sexual dysfunction in a woman. Sexual arousal is not a good thing. If you cannot get to that level, it's not good for any lady. Orgasm disorder. What we mean about the orgasm is what the lady releases before or after sex. If that lady is not able to release that orgasm, even after going into 3 times as a man, something is wrong with her. You keep telling her, I'm waiting for you, I'm waiting for you to come, I'm waiting for you to relax. Can you release? No, she's not doing that. This sister needs help. It's a dysfunction for ladies. It's not healthy. We want to be able to address it. Those 3 things are very necessary. And there are things that you have to watch out, both men and women, to help the relationship. If your girlfriend or your wife is in this category, she's not healthy. Something is wrong. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. Chika, thank you. Abaji, I appreciate you. Please share. If it's not happening, something is not right. You want to take her for a checkup. A woman cannot be dry every time you have intercourse and they think it's normal. The guy will be wounded all the time, going in and coming out. That's not healthy at all. It's not healthy. Something is wrong. And we're going to go down to discuss the causes of this kind of trouble in women. Are we taking notes? We're going to discuss some things that contribute to this issue. One key point that could contribute to this lack of attributes in a woman causing sexual dysfunction in a lady. One thing that can cause that is women that are at the age of bearing children, or a woman that have a baby. When a woman have a baby, the hormone system will be altered. What do I mean? The way she feels about sex at that period when she have a baby might be different. It differs from women to women. Some women love sex after having children, and some, their sex life just drop like nothing after having kids or after having a baby. Let's just put one baby at a time. That could cause disability in a woman's sexual functioning. A woman that had a brand new baby, maybe the pain and all that went through her mind and she locked herself up, she's scared, she doesn't want to have sex no more, so she won't get pregnant, this and that. Those things are casual, contributing factors and all that. And we want to watch out. If it's not baby issue now, we have to look at something else. What's going on, girl? Okay, you haven't had a baby yet. You cannot arouse, you can't release, and you don't get wet when I'm working very hard. Something is wrong. We want to check that out. Another thing that pushes women out of their comfort zone when it comes to sex is menopause. Menopause, when women hit the age of 50, maybe 55 or 60, it depends on individuals. Some people start menopause at the age of 49, some start late 50s, some start early, some start late 60s. It depends on individuals. God is the one that created everyone. So that can contribute for a woman not to have sexual desire. Not every woman, but some women, it will affect their sexual life when they hit menopause because hormones are being altered. You understand? Major illnesses too, sickness, such as cancer, diabetics, high blood pressure, any heart issue, like COPD, like CHF, chronic heart failure, like chronic pulmonary diseases. Anything that has to do with the heart can affect the woman, or anything that has to do with terminal illness, like cancer and all that end of stage, diseases, kidney issues, anything health affects women so bad. Common headache can affect them, but those are temporary things or permanent things that we know, okay, she's diagnosed with cancer, she doesn't want to do with the husband anymore, she knew she's dying, those and that. But when the issue is a normal, healthy lady, working class lady, maybe 20-something, 30, 40, 50, you have not hit hormone, you've had children are growing up, and your sex life is dropped, or you're newly married, your husband or boyfriend will overwork before you can even wait a little bit. Those things are issues. If you cannot wait and you cannot release oxygen and you're having severe pain when you're having sex, those are the things we want to watch out. And you don't have desire for sex. When your boyfriend mentions sex, you're like, whatever. Your husband talk about sex, who cares? You go in bed to help yourself and your husband, you just lay down like a stone. Can you finish and get up? If it's happening all the time, it's called for our attention. We need to find out what is going on. It is not healthy. It becomes female sexual dysfunction. That's not healthy at all. Let's talk about the vaginal lining. When you don't have sex all the time, ladies, your hormone will lower. And it will lead to sexual responses that you might not be able to control. What am I saying? A woman that is not having sex all the time, the vaginal lining will become thin. It will be loosed. Why? Because there's no pressure. Our private part is made to have pressure to make it work and function very well. This is the reason why when people have children, they get saggy. After pushing a child, the private part gets saggy. It gets loose and thin. And if you're not doing anything to bring it to contract again, your vaginal lining will become very thin and fragile. And it's not healthy for any lady. That's why it's good once in a while. I'm not saying have sex every day to make it work. But if you can have sex 3 times a week, it's healthy. It's proven scientifically. It is healthy for your heart. It's healthy for your blood work. It's healthy for everything functioning, your muscles and all that, and your private part. When your private part as a woman is loose and thin, you're prone to diseases outside. The pressure of sex will make it firm. It will draw the muscles together and keep it intact. That is why we encourage more sex than pretending that you don't need it. You understand? You open up for a lot of diseases and all that outside the window of the vagina. We don't want to see stuff like that. Because while we're saying this, and you can imagine when a woman has a baby, we want to encourage breastfeeding. Why do we encourage breastfeeding? Breastfeeding a child after birth, most times you don't have sex 2-3 weeks after birth, or even 6 weeks for some ladies. But breastfeeding, the connection of the child sucking the nipples will contract the muscles in the mother's stomach and the private part, and it brings it closer, to stand firm. That's why we encourage breastfeeding for a long time. It helps the woman to heal faster than bottle feeding. It is proven scientifically, it is proven. So stuff like that will help for a woman that is just nurturing a baby, you understand? Psychologically and socially, a woman that cannot enjoy sex is always bitter. When I would discuss about ladies' dysfunctionality and the connection with our characters outside the window of our marriage, where you are, but outside characters. Hopefully next week we will unfold that most ladies who do not have sex all the time tend to be nagging and angry all the time. Why? Because all their muscles and hormones are just in. Nothing is happening, nothing is going out, nothing is coming in. And we will go into the Bible to prove that it's also good to have sex. We're not saying have sex with anyone on the street. The Bible commands us to be married, husband and wife, before you have sex. And if you don't do it that way, you're committing sin. But guess what? The Bible confirms that intercourse for a man and a woman, husband and wife, is very good. We'll go there in a minute. All the time, issues in the marriage, husband and wife quarreling and all that, arguing every time, can affect a woman's sexual ability. Same thing to the guy, like we said. Stress in the family can affect a lady. More women get so stressed out, if they don't pay their bills, they shut down completely. They don't want sex. They don't even want anything to do with nobody. It's natural. Those are not going to call for concern. But when anything moves over normal to abnormal, is coming over and over again, it is called for concern. How can you be in the bed with a woman for 30 minutes, 1 hour, trying to make her to release orgasm and she's not, and you think it's normal? It's not normal. Any normal woman, it takes less than 1 to 3 minutes for her to start being wet. Anything above that is not healthy at all. You want to check it out. Joke apart, reality is true. Let's talk about some factors, like I said, stress, some factors that can affect a woman. Depression or anxiety. When you are depressed, most of us can attest to that. Thank God for His grace. When you are depressed as a woman, the least thing you want is sex, because it's not going to help. Some of us, I said some of us, when we're depressed, we don't want you to mention the word sex. Because mentally we think if we have sex, the depression will go, because we want to attach ourselves for people to feel sorry, you're depressed, you're this and that, and you shut down completely. We don't want that neither. We want to be able to control circumstances. For circumstances to control you to the point of messing up a relationship is not healthy. Men and women, we need that bond. Sex can put husband and wife back together even after a long time quarrel. Years and years. You see you being away from your boyfriend or girlfriend, you guys have issue, and you've been angry and bitter and all that. That's what we teach on this series and last week. Be able to communicate, say it the way it is, forgive each other, and have that bond. Sex can really make people be together and overcome a lot. And that's why the real love comes in. If you have love, you will not hold anger for too long. I'm not saying don't hold anger for too long. Either you love this person, or you don't love them, or you don't want to be with them, or you want to be with them. Do not allow anything to get you angry for a long period of time. It's not good, and it's not healthy for anyone. So don't give room for all that. We have to revise the case and do that will make us happy. You understand? It's very, very good. Sex is good. To be diagnosed that a woman is sexually dysfunctional, you have to get an order from the doctor. Like we always say, we don't want to diagnose ourselves that we have sexual dysfunction. But with the topic and the things you're hearing, if you have a sexual dysfunction, you should be able to know, you should be able to identify it. If you're seeing those symptoms and those causes are visible to you, there's nothing to hide. You can walk to your doctor's office and have your doctor examine your private part and see the thinness of your private parts and all that, ask you some questions, draw some blood, and have one-on-one discussion. The earlier you know, the better. It can be reversed, both for the men. Victoria said, my friend has entered early menopause because of the husband cannot make love to her for a long time. You see what I'm talking about? She can't enter early menopause, sis. People don't use their hand to enter early menopause. It's not possible. That one is not scientifically proven. She entered early depression stage because the husband or guy is not doing very well. But she's not supposed to do that. It's ignorance. You want to tell your friend to discuss with the husband. If he is impotent, he has some medications to take. And if you can't take medications, watch the series of yesterday. There are some food that can enhance the erectile function in a man. Some natural food that the man can eat, consistently as a routine, that will help him function well. And another thing that kills us, human beings, is the fact that we hide things a lot and we pretend a lot. Sister Victoria, I would appreciate you to talk to your friend, to discuss with the husband. There's help out there. Impotence is no longer that kind of issue or medical problems that people think, oh my God, how am I going to say this? How am I going to do it? It's rampant. 140 million men all over global are going through, will go through, and have been through sexual dysfunction. So the husband is not alone. You'll be surprised. The husband next door neighbor, a friend of his, is even going through the worst dysfunction that you can imagine. Knowledge is power, and power is being open to learn. She just have to discuss this issue. It can be fixed. Impotence is no longer a threatening disease in medical terms. It's no longer a big deal anymore. It is a deal. You know about it. You discuss it with your doctor. You take proper treatment, and it will take care of it. Some of those medications can actually last for 6 hours. And how many of us can last for sex for 6 hours? I am not going there because I'm not dying that fast. 6 hours now is dropped to death. You understand? So if he can take some meds to help him for at least 2-3 hours to make the wife happy, why not? These people are couples. Stadeza, thank you for joining me. Michael, I bless you. Thank you for joining. There's nothing shy about sexual dysfunction in men or women. We just have to be mature about it and discuss it as family and get some help. That's all it takes. Treatment. He said you should keep in mind that sexual dysfunction is a problem only if it bothers you. Do you understand? It's a problem only when it bothers you, especially women. If you cannot release orgasm when you're having sex with your husband as a lady, and he's not complaining, he can go in safely without cutting his skin, his penis not cracking up because your vagina is dry, then you don't have to bother about it. I think he's okay with it. I mean, there are some lubricating fluid, oils that you can rub in your private part and it will soften it up. But still, we want to take care of ourselves. It's very important because the hormones that we release actually release some stress and all those pressures inside. That's why we want to encourage a woman who doesn't have orgasm and who cannot, have the feel and desire of sex once in a while to check herself out and get proper treatment. It helps the body, not even that you're helping the man or the man helping you to have sex with you. We both are helping our system to be functioning. You understand? So there's nothing to hide about it. It is a problem and we need to take care of it. We need to take care of it. So openness to the issues is the most answer to the problem. If we can open up and talk about it, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's not a do or die affair. The same thing that we discussed in the men, that alcohol and smoking will affect their functionality. It's probably the same thing too with the ladies. A woman can drink, some ladies drink like drop. Arifan, I cannot call you, sir. I don't have time to call my fans, but my fans can call me. How many people will I call on Facebook? That would be, I won't be able to even have my talk show if I have to call everyone individually. But you can call me, sir. The number is out there. Call the number if you have private questions to ask. We're always here to, make sure that things are being understood. Medications for female sexual dysfunction. Effective treatment for sexual dysfunction often requires addressing an underlying medical condition or hormone change. Your doctor may suggest changing medication you are taking or prescribe a new one. Treating female sexual dysfunction linked to hormonal cause might include. When we say, okay, if you go to doctor's office as a lady and they want to treat it, like I said before, they will want to find out about your age if you are in menopause, because there will be some treatment that will be given, and there's always a hormonal medication that can be given to you for life. Menopause, they have medications for the rest of their lives. It can be modified if you're taking such medicines. It can be modified based on what your symptoms are. Honestly, sexual dysfunction is not healthy for any relationship. And it's a serious issue that we'll have to address to bring joy and peace in the relationship. Stan Victoria, he said, my friend has entered early menopause because of the husband cannot make love to her for a long time. I don't know how she will enter early menopause because the husband cannot make love to her. If the husband, you can tell me that she doesn't, or she's cheating, or she's not even interested in sex, then she now have a sexual dysfunction because the husband have the same thing. Then we're creating more problems than good. They need to address their issue. They need to seek help. The husband is not that sick. I mean, erectile dysfunction, like I said before, it's not an emergency call. It's something that we can take care of. It's something that we can handle. He can eat something healthy or go get medications through a doctor and take his med and satisfy the wife. And the wife needs to calm down and encourage him. Like I said before, sexual dysfunction in men can really break their esteem, their self-esteem down, like drop it to nobody. especially when their wives begin to discuss their sexual life with their friends or their family members, telling them, oh, he cannot do anything, oh, he doesn't know how to stand for this, that. That could make a man become nobody. Hearing that will break him like nobody. And we don't want to take that route. That's more dangerous than dealing with the issue. They can get help. Both parties can always get help. There's help out there. We just want to make sure it is what is going on. Sometimes it might not be sexual dysfunction. It could be that the guy is beginning to have blood pressure. Before this series, we discussed that blood pressure can affect the man's sexual dysfunction. And if he doesn't know he has a blood pressure, guess what? He takes medication for sexual dysfunction, boom, contraindication, he will have a serious major issue. Because some of those meds for erectile dysfunction are not good for men or women taking blood pressure medication. We want to be very alert and we want to be aware about our systems. But discussing it is very good. Like I said, for a woman who is always dry, we can use lubricants, soft gels and all that to help it out. For the guy to rub on her vagina or something to smoothen it up, touch her private part and all that. But if those things are not working, there is fire on the mountain and there is trouble. We need to fix the trouble by going to the doctor. But those are casual things that we can do without medical treatment and without prescription. We can handle all that, We can handle all that. Men and women need to enjoy themselves, and we need to discuss about sex and all that. It is very, very, very important. There is nothing to hide. When two partners are not happy, when they are stressed out because one is not satisfying the other one, there is a lot of issues that will come with it. Guess what? There will be cheating in the house. One of the parties at the end of the day will get tired and start cheating on the other. And we have created another problem because of ignorance. We don't want that. We have created another issue out of ignorance. That's why we said we must learn and we have to be open to share our views, to share how we feel, and to be open to receive the views and the complaint of the other in a very positive way. You don't want to tell your husband, oh, you are impotent, you can't even do nothing, shame on you, this and that. You're killing his, you're killing his morals. You're giving him depression, you're giving his sexual dysfunction more danger than it should have been. You break him down, he becomes nobody. The power of the tongue. You can use the same tongue to encourage the lady or encourage the guy that is going through all these kind of issues and work together and solve the problem. It is doable. There are benefits and medications and natural food that you can eat to enhance your sexual life out there, both for the men and the women. I hope we're enjoying this topic. So it's not only men that goes through sexual dysfunction, women go through it too, but it depends how serious it is and what we think about it. Like some women that don't have sex, well, like me now for a long time, I don't really care because it's not registered. But guess what? I don't even want it to be a problem neither. As I'm teaching the class, I'm going to go back and research myself and make sure I'm not going to get sick because of, one thing or the other. So we need to watch this and share it and view it and take it in as a positive, remark and work with it and fix our problems. How can we watch the thing that can help us and we allow it to destroy the marriage? If the man is impotent, we can get him help. As a wife, be nice and find solution to your problem. That is also your problem. When your husband cannot perform in bed, you have a problem as a woman because you need to make it work for you. And the same thing for a man, and your wife cannot give you the comfort you need. Help her out and get the comfort, Everything is doable. Let's not be ignorant of the truth. Yes, Mr. Eze, you're asking about sex. That brings me to the topic of the benefit of sex. Not only relationship, benefit of sex. Even if you don't have a relationship like I don't have, I will still discuss about it because I'm an adult. I want to be aware of what I need to do, or what am I gaining if I have to do this. That's what we're teaching right now, benefit of sex. Erectile dysfunction is not only for men and it's not only for women. Both parties go through one thing or the other concerning dysfunction with sex. So the benefits of sex. Let's first of all go to the Word of God. Let's go to the Word of God. 1 Corinthians, admin 1 or 2, please pin that. Because some sensitive topics like this, we want to attach the Word of God to confirm what we're teaching. Because if the Word of God has confirmed it, you and I have to be in alignment to the Word of God, and it shall be well in Jesus' name. Let's see why sex is important. Sexual benefits. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. Admin 1 or 2, can you please pin that for my people? Look what the Bible said briefly. But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. Your own wife and your own husband. Did not say that you should have your own wives with S and your own husbands. That's not what the Word of God said. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2, it says, but because of the temptation to sexual immorality, because of the temptation out there, because of beautiful women like me that are single, because of some handsome guys that are single, sexual temptation out there, immorality, a lot of it. God has commanded that each and every one of us should get our own partner, being your husband or your wife. Telling us that sexual immorality is a sin. Having sex without saying I do before God, legally married, is a sin. So, that being said, sex is good, but you have to do it with your husband or your wife. That is the Word of God to us. Sexual immorality out there. Get your own wife or your own wife, and you can enjoy it anyhow you want. Look at this verse, Mark 10, verse 6 to 9, admin 1 and 2. Thank you all for pinning this information. God bless both of you. Mark chapter 10, verse 6 to 9. I'm going to read it out. But at the beginning of creation, God made them men and female. 7 said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. 8 said, and they two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. 9 said, therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. Mark 6, verse 6 to 9. He said, in this reason, God created man and created woman. And not only that, he said the man will leave the mother and leave the father. Same thing to the woman, will leave the mother and leave the father. Both will be together as one. No longer two, but one flesh. Do you understand? Therefore, God has joined them together. And whatever God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Sex is allowed in a union ordered by God. Is that what we're doing these days? No, that's not what we're doing. Am I going to be the one to judge you? No, I am not going to be the one to judge you. We all know where we're coming from. We know our problem. Well, let's deal with it individually. But the Bible said immorality is not good. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 to 9. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 to 9. Look at this, the Word of God. It is God's will that you should be satisfied, that you should avoid sexual immorality. 4 said that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable. 5 said, not in passionate lust, like the pagans who do not know God. Like the pagans who do not know God. So the main thing is that sex is acceptable when we are married. The Lord honors the union of husband and wife, whereby we all leave our families and we cling together. You know, we don't want to live like immoral people having sex anywhere we see open holes, we'll go in. That's not what we want to do. We want to honor the word of God. And when you honor the word of God, you're legally married or you have a wife, divorced or come back together and all that. These are partners. We are talking about couples right now. And your fellow couple, your partner have an issue of sexual dysfunction. Why would you want to even say it out and all that without looking for solution? This is yours. It's your problem. If he cannot function, you are the one that will suffer it, If it's functioning too, you are the one that will enjoy it. So why can't we look for help? We need to look for help, right? Yeah, that's what the Bible said. Look at the verses, read it, get used to it. Look for your own wife. Look for your own husband and enjoy the word sex. Benefits of sex. One benefit of sex that we must talk about is it keeps your immune system growing and functioning very well. Immune system means your blood, the oxygen and everything in you is your immune system. Everything that keeps you, I say it like more of your breath, the air that you breathe. Sex is one of the benefits. It keeps that air that you breathe functioning. Can you imagine that? Having sex keeps you radiating. It makes your body feel good and relaxed. Though we that are not having sex for the longest time now, well, thank God for makeup. But scientifically it's telling us that having sex will keep you going and keep your immune system functioning well and all that. For those of you that are having sex or married and all that, enjoy yourself because it's been proven that it helps. And every woman that has sex all the time, you see her looking beautiful. I mean, I don't know if I'm not looking beautiful enough because I don't have sex. But those that are having it, scientifically it has been proven that it helps a lot. The same thing to men. You see a man that have a wonderful wife, he gets what he wants sexually whenever he wants it, and the wife enjoys it. Both of them are in the same pace. You can see their characters and everything, and the way they look peaceful. That is what science is telling us, that sexual intercourse can boost your immune system. Okay, and when we talk about that, we want you to eat right. We want you to eat right. You guys know I don't do without quoting scientifically what I have searched, and you can go in and prove it. Look at this. Sexually active people take fewer sick days. Scientifically proven that when you are sexually active, especially the working class ladies and men, you take off less. You don't call in sick all the time because you're sexually active. Says Yvonne K. Fulbright. By Yvonne K. Fulbright. Yvonne K. Fulbright have PhD in sexual health education. It's a sexual health expert. Yvonne K. Fulbright, PhD for sexual health expert. You can go search about her articles and read it. She proved that having sex all the time, at least 3-4 times a week, can actually reduce you being sick or calling off work all the time because you are sexually active. Scientifically proven, is up there. Go and read about Yvonne K. Fulbright, PhD of sexual health expert. Scientifically proven. Sex is good 2-3 times in a week. People who have sex have higher levels of what defends your body against germs. Pay attention. People who have sex 2-3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, those who love it, welcome to the club right now. If you love sex, men and women. Don't ask me if I do because I'm not having sex. Hello? So I can't give you my scientific proving. They say they have body mechanism that defends germs, outside germs, viruses, and other intruders. Intruders, we know that the woman private part is built in a way that if you don't take care of it, outside intruders, germs can go in easily. Men are more safe because of the way they are built, their organs are built, but we were prone to more outside invaders to our private parts. And they're saying here, scientifically proven, that more sex all the time when you can do it should be able to help you. It boosts your immune system and you can fight some of those outside intruders into your private parts. Researchers at Wilkins University in Pennsylvania found that college students who had sex once or twice a week had higher levels of the certain antibodies compared to students who do not have it. Antibodies that fight against outside illnesses. Sex can fight it. If you have sex all the time, your body system will be built to fight all those things coming outside because you're more sexually active. It's proven scientifically. For you to also balance your immune system, we want you to eat healthy. We want you to eat right. We want you to stay active, a little bit of exercise, more like doing it for you, being active. Get enough sleep. You can see that when people don't sleep well, they tend to be cranky and frustrated during the day. They are very bitter, because if you don't relax the body, you don't rest well during the day, the body wants to rest instead of being active. Imbalanced system is not healthy for you. Mentally, it's going to be altered. Getting enough rest. Adults should sleep at least between 8 hours. Let's say between 6 hours to 12 hours if possible. But we know we don't get 12 hours. We have 24 hours. Most of us are active till 16 hours. But scientifically, it's not healthy. We expect every adult from the age of 16, we'll call them adults, up. You should be able to sleep at least 6 straight hours of sound sleep every day to be mentally alert and function very well. And it will help you with your sex life. Keep up with your vaccinations. If you need to take any vaccination like flu vaccination and all that, make sure you keep up to it. If you have to go for pap smear, ladies that go for pap smear once in a year, like us, we'll keep up to that and make sure we do the proper checkups that are needed to keep ourselves healthy. Use a condom. Sex is good, but do not jump into having sex with anyone that you see. Use protection, use condom until you find out the status of this girl or this man when it comes to diseases. A lot of things are happening out there. To be honest with you, we know sometimes you jam a girl that you love so much, both of you will be carried away, boom, you start having sex. That is ignorance. You don't want to do that anymore. Things have changed. And you'll be surprised too. Some people will tell you, oh, what if he cheats? Even after having sex with me, he cheated on me with someone else and then comes back and carry disease. Well, that scientific one we cannot prove, but we want you to be safe yourself. At least for the first time you're meeting someone, don't jump into sex. Go and check yourself out. Some people don't do it, but I'm telling you, here, it's very important. It is very, very necessary and important to be safe. Make sure you check yourself out. And if you're not sure of this person yet, but you want to have fun and enjoy yourself, go ahead and use condom to protect yourself. It is what it is. Sex, constant sex will also help you boost your libido. It will help with your libido. Libido. It will help your libido. Longing for a more lovely and lively sex life, having sex will make sex better and will improve your libido, says Laura Stretcher, medical doctor. She is an assistant medical professor of women's clinic at Northern West University School of Medicine in Chicago. These things are things you can go in and search. We're not just running our mouth because we want to say something. We want to run our mouth and make sure people will get it and they will run with it. Another thing that sex can help a lady is to improve a woman's bladder control. Ladies, pay attention. Remember, without sex, I mentioned before that your vaginal lining will be thinned out if you're not practicing sex all the time as ladies. Not just every day, but those who enjoy it. Hello? If you don't do it, that side will be thinned out. And not only thinning out, it's gonna cause bladder loss. Your bladder will be so saggy. And that's when we get incontinence care for women. Women are the highest number of people who get incontinent care. Men have incontinent care too, meaning they pee on themselves and all that. But men can control their incontinent care even up to the age of 80, 90. But women, scientifically has been proven that if you don't have sex all the time and give some muscle pressure to your private parts, most women who does that at the age of 45, 50, they will start peeing on themselves. You might not be like peeing pee, but you'll be walking, somebody make you laugh, you will pee on yourself because that bladder has been open. You have children and you're not maintaining the muscle tone. That's why we say exercise to keep the muscles working and functioning well. That's same thing with our private part as women. If you don't keep that place being pushed and the muscles being, exercised, it will loosen up the tone. And when it loses the tone, women tend to laugh and they drop pee on themselves. Some of them will be walking around, they cannot hold it to reach to the bathroom. That's the cause of it. Insufficient sexual activity can cause to bladder loss in control. And women will start having incontinence. They will start peeing more than they expected. You are in a place, in a party, somebody make you laugh and you wet yourself because the bladder tone is lost. The elasticity is lost. And they want to make sure it's functioning by being a little bit sexually active. For you to have a pelvic that is strong and then tight, you have to practice more sex. Incontinence care is not something a young lady wants to have, because it will make you to stink. You will be stinky. If you drop pee all the time on yourself, your undies will have odor all the time. And men don't like that. Incontinence care can hit even people of 24, 25 years old if they are not practicing sex and they are not, exercising the muscles of the private part. They can have incontinence. There's no limit on when a woman will have incontinence. It depends on what is contributing factor to that. Oh, Dominican, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Go back. This is third series on one topic. Go back and view it. Yes. We need to be open, women. We need to be realistic to ourselves. We need to be educated and we need to be aware of how our body functions. And when we do that, it will drop the stress and level of issues that we go through in our relationship. Hey, twin sis from Nigeria, thank you for joining me. Ahmad Mohammed, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Please share in your groups and your Facebook page. God bless each and every one of you. We're talking about the benefits of sex right now. We've done the series of erectile dysfunction in men, and statistics have been proven, medications and all that. We have discussed about sexual dysfunction in women. Women also have sexual issues, and we have trashed that. Now we're talking about the benefits of sex in both parties. We gave some quotations in the Bible, and now we're encouraging our ladies. Good sex is like a workout for your pelvic floor muscles. When you have good sex, your pelvic floor muscles as a woman will be contracted. More like when you cut yourself, I will tell people, you cut yourself, you're bleeding. You don't want to put heat there. When you put heat there, guess what? You will bleed more. You want to put ice on the bleeding part to constrict it. But right now, your pelvic, your private part as a woman is like cold ice. You don't want to also have a cold ice on top of it, meaning you're not doing nothing, then it's sagging and all that. But when you're functioning and doing stuff, it will constrict the muscles because it will help you with a lot of diseases to be avoided. It will help you not to be incontinent, not to be peeing on yourself and wetting your underwear. You're driving in the car, you just feel the urge to go and pee. Before you even think about, oh, I need to go and pee, your pant is already wet for a lady. It's not good because you are not practicing sex all the time. We're not saying do it every day. Some people cannot survive it, but at least 2-3 times in a week, a woman should be able to have sex with the husband, or the boyfriend, if that's the case. Having sex too, research suggests a link between sex and lower blood pressure, says Joseph J. Pinzo. Joseph J. Pinzo. Admin 1 and 2, can you pin that for me? Joseph J. the middle and Pinzo, P-I-N-Z-O-N-E. Joseph Pinzo, thank you all so much. Suggested that sex and lower blood pressure can be achieved. Joseph J. Pinzo is a medical doctor. He is the CEO and medical director of AMIA Wellness. These are scientifically proven issues. Having sex can lower your blood pressure. Can you imagine that? And it can boost the heart rate to be at the functioning level that is needed just because it has sex. Number 5 is that sex in a relationship counts as an exercise. For those of you that don't have time, like me, I don't have time to be walking around all the time. Once in a while, I walk around the neighborhood, like 5 minutes is my max. I'm telling you guys, I will come back to my house and walk around in my house. But we want you to sweat. Most times I will do it 30 minutes walking around in the kitchen and keeping myself busy, but I'm not sweating. I'm deceiving myself. You guys know that, right? So don't deceive yourself like Jesse. We want you to do exercise sexually. It's been proven that sex can be a form of exercise. Listen to this. Sex is a really great form of exercise by that Joseph J. Pinzo. He's a medical doctor who is also the CEO and medical director of AMIA Wellness. He suggested that sex is a form of exercise. It will replace the treadmill, but it counts for something. It's not the same level with when you walk on a treadmill or run outside, but it counts because it will boost blood circulation in the system. Your arteries and your veins will begin to receive a good circulation when you're having sex, and the hormones inside will be released to drop the pressure and anxieties. That is a good workout. That's what he suggests. Thank you, admin 1 and 2. Sex uses about 5 calories per minute. Come on now, listen to this. Sex, when you have sex, you use 5 calories per minute. 1 minute that you have sex, you have already dealt with 5 calories. Can you imagine if it's more or 5, 6, 10 minutes, how many calories you're going to drop? That is a serious exercise. Here, the same doctor, J. Joseph Pinzo, the same doctor is the one giving us statistics. He says sex uses about 5 calories per minute, 4 more calories than watching TV. It gives you a 1 to 2 punch. It boosts up your heart rate and uses various muscles. As you're having sex, your mental status is being working. Your muscles and your arteries, blood, vein, everything is being applied into it. Sex is good for men and women, but please do not die in silence because you're having a dysfunction. Look for help if you want to do very good with your partner and maintain the relationship. Do not allow sexual dysfunction to be what will break your relationship. It can be fixed. Dominica, yes, it's been proven. It is a very good way of, losing some weight and some sweat and all that, and losing calories. It's been proven. It's scientifically proven. It is for real. Every 1 minute that you have sex, 1 minute, you lose 5 calories. Can you imagine if you spend 30 minutes enjoying your wife or your girlfriend, how many calories that you have lost? We need to pay attention. So get busy. You may even want to clear your schedule to make time to have sex, says the doctor. Sexual intercourse can also lower your heart attack risk. Wow. Having sexual intercourse can lower the risk factor that can cause heart attack. Bingo. I want us to listen. I want us to share this video. If you have a page or a group in your Facebook, please share. Invite someone else, share the page, and share. It might not be good for you, but someone needs this information. Oh, Dominican, thank you so much. Please share this video on your groups and your page. Guys, share. Sexual activity can lower the risk of heart attack. It's scientifically proven. It can lower the risk of heart attack. Why? Because when you are having sex, you can attest to that. Every one of us are adults. During the activity of sex, when 2 partners are engaged, their mindset is working the same time. Both of them want that sex. Both of them are enjoying it. You can see both of them radiating and both sweating. And after it, some people will sleep for 10 hours without getting up. It will relax the muscles. It's pure exercise. And the calories will drop. If we can drop 1 calories per 5 minutes, you can imagine that. When some men and women can be in activity for almost 30 minutes, how many calories have you lost? That's a lot of calories. So you spend 10 minutes, you lost 2 calories. 30 minutes, you have lost 6 calories instantly, just for one day having sex. Imagine if you do it 2, 3, 4 times in a week. You are actually helping your blood pressure, you're helping your heart flow, you're helping the muscles, everything concerning you. Your brain is functioning. The hormones that are not supposed to be in are being released, and you will be more active and more happier with your lifestyle. That is the magic that sex can do. A good sex life is good for your heart. Besides being a great way to raise your heart rate, sex helps your estrogen and testosterone levels balance. The hormones inside, the estrogen and the testosterone for the men and for the women will balance out. Scientifically proven. We're not just saying it because we want to say it. You understand? Having sex more often may help. During one study, men who have sex at least 2 times or 3 times a week were half as likely to die of heart disease as men who had sex rarely. Bingo, this is a very important one. Scientifically proven by Joseph J. Pinzon. Scientifically proven, the CEO of Amen Wellness. Scientifically proven. I'm not just running my mouth. Go and research Joseph J. Pinzon. Research his work. He's saying that study has proven that men that have sex 2 or 3 times or even more based on their capacity every week are less likely to have any heart disease compared to men who do not have sex more often. So if you are not having a lot of sex right now, you're prone to heart issues. You are prone to heart issues, not just for men, same thing to the ladies. That's an eye-opener, sent to the ladies. Another benefit of sex is lessens pain. Before you reach for any aspirin, try for orgasm. I like that. Before you start drinking aspirin to reduce pain or Tylenol and all that, let's have some fun, men and women, husband and wife. Let's play around and see if it will release those hormones. And it can be done if you be honest to us. When once you have sex with your partner, someone that you love, and you put your mind in it, even if you're having migraine headache before you started, it will dissolve immediately. That's a natural painkiller. That's what Joseph J. Pinzon, medical doctor, a researcher, is telling us. These are research work done and proven. Orgasm can block pain. It's been proven. Says Barry Aaron Kamoskra, PhD, a doctor too. Barry is a doctor. He's saying orgasms in a woman can block pain. These are scientifically proven. Men who ejaculate or masturbate at least 21 times a month were likely to get prostate cancer during one study, which was established in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Going for the Gusto may help ward off prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is a different topic that we're going to discuss as time goes on. But you see the benefits of sex, how much sex can do to us. For those who are saying that they've not had sex for decades, do you see a lot of benefits that you're losing for not having sex? I mean, those of us like us, for not having sex, I'm doing all these studies now and beginning to think twice. You understand? So that's the enlightenment. That's what we want to teach. That's what we want to do. Don't get someone depressed because they're going through impotency or they're having sexual dysfunction, stuff like that. Let's not use that to attack our loved ones. Let's not use that to discuss about their issues outside. You know, when you tell someone that your boyfriend doesn't function well, you're actually telling about you. Because any smart one that you're telling might think you're the one. After all, women also have sexual dysfunction. So why do we want to carry our story outside instead of discussing it to find solution? Both men and women have sexual dysfunction. The answer is how many of us are willing to discuss this issue? And how many of us are willing to fix this issue? How many of us are willing to be there for one another? When your partner is going through something sensitive like this, something so vital like this, something so difficult like this, are you going to be there to support him or her? You don't want to leave your loved one alone going through this emotionally. You know, it can be deranging. It disturbs their self-esteem and all that. It affects their functionalities in the community. It affects them everywhere they go because they are carrying a burden inside. They don't know how to explain it and who to talk to. We want us to encourage one another. We want us to be there for one another. Problem spoken out is halfway solved. Just like we're communicating about all these issues, sexual erection and impotence in men and dysfunction in women and the benefits of sex. Just like we're discussing it, you will be surprised who needs this information out there. You are not alone. Like I have said before, men that are sexually dysfunctional and men that have impotency all over the world globally is 140 million men. Oh, Dominica, you've been missing out, I know. But please, you can always go back and watch the series and share it to your groups and your friends and well-wishers. You didn't miss a lot because the videos are there live. We cannot erase the videos. They're always there. So go back and watch it. I hope you enjoyed the series for today. Tomorrow is going to be the best. I'm telling you, what I have in store for you, my fans, you all will be proud of your girl, Jessie. For real, for real. Live from Houston, Texas, from Jessie's studio. We want to make awareness. We want to bring it home. No man is an island. No lady is an island. A lot of people are going through the same thing you're going through. The question is, how do you handle your own? Oh, Mr. Victor, thank you for joining, sir. You almost came late. This topic was on fire. This is a wonderful topic today, sir. Please share on the page, share with your friends on the group side, anywhere you're connected to share this video. I beg of you guys, men and women need to hear this topic. Erectile dysfunction is not only for men. I will still repeat because I know my ladies who have been following up and were laughing and cracking out of it that, oh, wow, men are going through a lot. No, ladies also go through sexual dysfunction. That was the history of today. Women also go through sexual dysfunction and we trashed it, we discussed it, and we talked about the benefits of sex in a relationship. We backed it up with the word of God, and we have scientifically proven and points and, you know, everything that is already pinned there. Go back and watch and enjoy it. Thank you, Jesse Ogo. I appreciate you. Watch and enjoy it. Do not die in silence. It is wonderful to know that women also go through this. And it's wonderful to know that 140 million men globally are going through erectile dysfunction, will go through it or has been there already. 140 million men. That's a lot globally. So we are not alone. The main thing is those who want to identify their issues, they will face it. But those who want to die in silence, guess what? There's nothing we can do for them. The information is there. It's left for us to read it and share it and encourage someone else. And don't pull your partner down because of their circumstances. Get some help, guys. Get some help. Get some help. For couples engaged in more sex, it's healthy for the body. It will reduce heart attack and all that. So don't be shy about sex. Discuss it. Even the word of God honors husband and wife to have sex. So why are we shy about it? We shouldn't be shy about it. So tell someone else. Communicate with somebody. Dominica, you go and find your husband. That's a good one. Yes, yes, yes. Go and find you a good one. And make sure you watch all my series before you start finding a good husband. I want you to go through my series and see, identifying a very good husband and knowing when it's unhealthy for you to go in. You need to read and go back and watch those videos so that you can know when the good husband is around you or when the corny ones, the ones that are very corny, is coming your way. I've already treated that. Watch out, ladies. Let's be very careful. Let's be very careful. Enjoy this music because this series was very awesome. And Dominican, you owe me. Share the video on your pages or group where you belong. Everyone, Mr. Victor, all my fans all over the globe, you guys should share. I want to see an improvement in this series. And send me your questions. We'll always be here to talk about it and trash it out. Stay tuned and enjoy what we do best as we round up. Yes. It was wonderful today. I enjoyed this topic for real.
It's been 7 hours and 50.
It's been a long day. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining me today, Wednesday. Tomorrow, do not miss the series of tomorrow. It's going to be very, very raw and very good. The truth will be unfolded tomorrow. Make sure you tag your friends. Every group that you know, tag. People need to hear all this. Oh, Dominican, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Mr. Victor, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Yes, you need to go back and watch it. It was awesome. Thank you all for joining us. God bless everyone. Enjoy this music from Jesse's studio here in Houston, Texas. I can't do this without you guys. I am so happy, honestly.
I said nothing can take away this love, 'cause nothing compares to you.
Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you. Dominic, and I wish you the best in finding a wonderful guy. I am looking too, girl. We thank God for His grace.
Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong?
Thank you guys. Happy 1 and 2 and the second video always. I love you guys. You all are the best. Thank you guys for getting my back all the time. Thank you all for all you do for me. God bless people.
I went to the doctor and guess what he told me?
Share this video, please.
He said, girl, you better try to help, or no matter what you do. What is true? 'Cause nothing compares to you.
All right. Here comes the end of this session today. I am very privileged, and I thank God for us that we are celebrants in the land of the living. We bless God for a wonderful day like this, for the opportunity to share our ideas, for the opportunity to encourage one another. We pray for good health. And as we all go to bed tonight, the Lord Almighty will wake us up tomorrow so we can celebrate once again in the land of the living, above all things, in good health. And that brings me to the tradition of the month. I will always say happy birthday to my country, Nigeria. I am a proud daughter of Nigeria. This month is our month of birthday. Nigeria was born in 1960, and because of that, I celebrate with my lovely country. I say happy birthday and happy independent month to my country. The president of Nigeria, the senators, the government officials, all those men and women in the top class. Once again, your daughter Jessie from Houston, Texas is asking, where is the national cake? Can we share? Can we divide the national cake among us Nigerians? We are very proud of our country, no matter what it is. There's no place like home. I still love my people. And for River State guys and ladies, come on now. I say hello to my families out there. I love each and every one of you. And my fans globally, I hope we're making a difference. I hope we are enjoying these topics that are being uploaded from this studio. You guys stay tuned tomorrow. Watch out for the topic of tomorrow. You'll be glad that you joined me. You invite someone else. We'll be posting it tomorrow. Make sure you invite somebody. We want to say some certain things that are very sensitive, and it's going to help a lot of people, including me. Thank you guys once again. And to my admins, I said, I love you all so much for what you do. God bless every one of us. Until we meet again tomorrow, I said to all of you, my heart is glad. You all have a blessed and wonderful night.